Okay, this is what I mean. My kids and my family, all of us have allergies, asthma. We can't have stuffed animals around the house. The house has to be completely clean all the time. We can't have a lot of pets because we're allergic to the dander.
You can treat all of that on the naturally.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
See,
I always
amazing.
tell my kids, you guys are allergic to crap. Basically what it is, you can't eat garbage. You can't have a dirty house. You have to have cotton clothing. You can't have blends or polyester. That's how it is.
Yeah.
You have to go natural. As weird as that sounds.
Well, what they say
messes with them.
Yeah, what they say is the toxic barrel is full. Your body can only hold so many toxins, and when it can't release them, then the slightest thing like cat dander or Santa Ana winds, and all of a sudden you're miserable. But if you can empty out your body of all these toxins, improve your digestion, the better the digestion, the better the elimination of these toxins, and then you could go. I had a woman who couldn't go inside of her mother-in-law's house for 15 years because of the cats. And we desensitized her, and she could go in there for up to 4 hours, and then she'd get a little, get a little itchy and leave after 4 hours. But before, she had to stand outside of the house to say hi because she would get such bad asthma. It's just amazing what the body can do to heal itself.
Right.
You know, now I got to jump in. Why didn't you tell me that 20 years ago? That would have been perfect. Gee, Mike, can't come over. I'm allergic to you.
That is crazy.
You know, that would be good. Yes, and then now, Hannah, now since we went down this line as far as we did, there's one more question I'd like to ask all three of you ladies. Jesse and I
and gentlemen.
Right. Well, Jesse and I were
come on now. You got two gentlemen in the house.
Right. But this is it. Jesse and I were talking about this on the phone during our discussion.
He's falling asleep over there, though.
About people that crank us up in the beginning of the new year. And everybody's jumping up, and they're making these New Year resolutions.
Goals, resolutions, all this.
Right, all of this yak stuff, right? And it cracks me up, and they talk and talk and talk and talk. And then they do it maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, they get bored, and they leave it alone. Now, is there a way that we can train these people, if that's the correct word, right?
Naturally.
Stop talking. Don't make a resolution.
Action speaks louder than words.
Just do it. Don't tell nobody. Just do it.
Exactly.
I think that people should spend the year making a lifestyle change. Any lifestyle change does not happen overnight. You know, it took me 2 years to get to the point of where I'm, and that was with a lot of education and reading and researching. Yep. And that's honestly, with the power of education, there's no way someone can make a change if they don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Such drastic purification programs and detox programs, those are short-term, and half the time the person doesn't even know why they're doing what they're doing. Yeah, it's a cleanse, but then they go home and they just feed the body something else. I believe it strongly, and everybody's New Year's resolution should be making a lifestyle change, not a diet. Not a fad that's going to, just last for a certain amount of time. And working with someone who can guide you along that way or recommend books, that you can start using to make that change.
Yes. And then eventually it just becomes your lifestyle, and it's not you're trying to do anything anymore. It's just more of a habit.
Right.
So it's
right.
Kind of
and then you never have to make New Year's resolutions for
exactly, because you start living exactly. You just live the lifestyle. And then at that time, you definitely got to appreciate it and give you a little pat on the back.
Right. Now, could it be possible that with some people, whatever they choose on, like food, alcohol.
That's general, life, period.
Excuse me, stupidity. Yeah. Whatever it is, right? And is it possible that they yak about it so much that they stop themselves with the fear of actually doing it because they got so comfortable in this lifestyle?
Mm-hmm. It can be scary to do a change.
I have a different view. Most people, if they have an intention to make a change, let's say to give up diet soda, they really want to. But like you say, it's so ingrained to reach for it. And usually it's under stress. When you are anxious about something, that's when all the resolutions go out the window. That's when the lifestyle change goes out the window. You're grabbing for something that in your mind you think will calm you.
Yeah.
Right.
And so people
it's
have to
alcohol.
learn tools, and I'm going to say a little bit about thought field therapy here. You have to learn some way to bring your anxiety and stress down so that you don't fall off the wagon and grab the diet soda.
Or the ice cream or the
ice
donuts
cream.
or whatever.
You've got to have
I don't like soda.
you've got to have your stress busting techniques handy, whether it's a walk around the park.
Something to release.
Something.
Relieve your stress
Yeah,
and stuff.
and that,
Right.
because it's the stress and the
Meditating,
anxiety that
praying.
builds that causes
Absolutely.
you to act out in a self-sabotaging way.
And like earlier when we were talking, Jackie, in the office back there, and we were talking about different things, what I would do is I really don't get aggravated,
Right.
right? I'm not going to give that person or that subject the satisfaction
Yeah.
of going there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But when there is something that's really bugging me, what I do very quietly is I will leave my home or the building that I'm in, wherever it is. I walk around the block a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go across the street if I'm here at the station. I'll go across the street and get a Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know, and I analyze it. You know, and I'm going, okay, now wait a minute. Why am I getting upset because of this circumstance that is completely
Yeah.
out of my control?
Yeah.
Or that person for what he or she said or did. I am not their mama. I'm not in charge of them.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's when it's due. And once I figured out being on this earth as long as I have and doing all the things that I wanted to do so far, you know, I was gratitude that these came my way when they did. I taught myself, don't get aggravated.
Exactly. Patience. Patience is everything.
Patience.
That's what was one of my New Year's resolutions, is work on patience and, you know,
How's
just
it
like
going for
being
you?
the better. It's been good. It's been really good. Like, honestly, and just like respecting other people's opinions and just hearing other people out and, you know, just like watch what I'm saying and stuff. You
Yeah.
know? Just like, because what you put out is what you're going to get back. And like, I know in my industry, you know, you want people to love you, not talk about you in a bad way, like, because then people won't want to work with you. So
That's true.
so a mixture of that, not just like not that I was like impatient throughout the year. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all are a little bit, but it was just something that I seen in like a mixture of myself and other people, and I felt like, you know, I want to be like the optimistic person on set versus like, oh, he's like negative Mr. Diva and crap, you know. So yeah, patience.
I'm trying to picture you negative.
No, I'm
One time.
I'm
I
a
say
very
that.
optimistic person, and I'm very, you know, like I'm cool. You know, it takes a lot to actually get on my bad side, but like once you get on my bad side, I don't think there's ever getting back on my good.
Okay, guys, hang on for a minute. Everybody hold on. If you just tuned in, you're listening to Let's Go Shopping with Biff right here on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind. And if you guys are serious on getting yourself happy and motivated for the new year, turn
Naturally,
us on.
though.
Naturally,
Naturally.
right. No druggy wuggies.
No.
Tune in and
Government
go.
don't want.
Right.
Never mind.
Go to your station, KCAA 1050 AM on the AM dial, and you will hear us. And we are going to keep this thing rolling here because, well, my wish is for the new year, being for everybody get happy.
Yeah.
Just think, if everybody stopped the moaning and groaning
And just do it.
and just do it and got
Stop
happy,
complaining.
right? And got happy. Could you imagine how fantastic it's going to be for our children?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
That's our generation. That's our next generation.
Exactly, the future.
Yeah.
It's the future and stuff
That's our
that
future.
we could spread and make changes of, you know, by starting one at a time and just promoting it and getting, you know, even when, like, if you get, like, celebrities to post, you know, like, talk about this, like, you could set a trend thing. And people will start doing this, and, like, the government will be pissed because nobody's buying, like, all these crazy pills that it's supposed to take away anxiety and all this, but and then you end up dying from it later, so I'm confused. Like, I mean, like, what's really going on, you know?
And, you know, you just said a good subject, too. Hannah, I think you're going to enjoy this one, being in the food business that you're in, right, being the genius, the doctor of food, that when you hear these commercials about all these different drugs, right? All these pills for every disease. And then you hear all the side effects. And you're going,
right.
I think I'm going to stay with what I have instead of getting the side effects.
Yeah, you might go blind. You might not ever be able to walk again. But hey, this helps.
Yeah, and you may end up liking your in-laws and outlaws too.
And then what do? They give you another medication to cover up that symptom.
Exactly. It's just like their way of making money. Like, have you guys ever been to any of the museums, like in Hollywood, that talk about like all these pills and how like the kids have committed suicide and just like all this craziness? It eventually drives them crazy, and then they end up like killing themselves or shooting at a school or like all of the like the craziness that went on through like the high schools. They were all on these medications that are supposed to make them better, and it didn't. It made them go crazy. And,
it does.
It's
those
corrupted.
Drugs are helpful in certain situations, but for our teenagers,
I don't think at all.
It's very, it increases terrible tragedies.
Increases of what they're trying to get away from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
but companies are getting rich.
What happened?
The pharmaceutical companies are getting rich.
Oh, yeah. If you really read into these documentaries and just watch them and stuff, it's crazy. It's, like, so crazy. Basically, like, how they're killing everybody one at a time by prescribing them all this medication. But, of course, they're making, like, ridiculous amounts of money.
But you're right. But at the same time, parents don't know what else to do because
they're in the
that's
situation.
Where all the advertising is and all the promotion. And in schools, they say, go see your doctor, go get a prescription.
You have to have a mind of your own.
So there has to be another way. Right.
And do your own studying and come to you.
That's right. I mean, I was desperate myself, and I just kept having a prayer, and eventually I found, these kind of techniques and changed my life. And
natural.
So that's the thing, is to
organic.
Get the hope out. There is an answer that will work for you.
Legitimately, though, not like corrupted.
Right.
Not let's poison you up with all these pills and you'll be better. Like even with dieting, everything. Like all these pills, it's like you're losing weight, and then all of a sudden you're poisoned and your liver's falling out, and just like random stuff. It's like make up your mind. Like, are you trying to make us lose weight? Are you killing us one at a time? Like, what is really going on?
Yeah, and that's another thing that I want to bring up too.
I could just go on for days, so I'm gonna shut up.
It's people. What the other thing too, and we have the both right people with us for this discussion, and we will be having more of these. I'll tell you right now, is when people start putting on the weight, right? Yeah. And let's say they're in a size 10 pants. Yeah. Okay, pulling a number out of the hat, and a month and a half later they're in a 14. Yep. And then a 16, and it goes up and up and up, and it's hard for them to bend over to tie their shoes, whatever, and
all these health problems come along.
Yeah, one thing after another. Why? And then they say,
everybody can maintain their life if they really wanted to. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, go out there and do it.
Right.
Like, come on.
And then the point I was going to make is like, now I'm not bagging the companies that are out there. I don't have the right to bag these people.
But the company's doing what out there, though?
You have these different organizations or clubs, whatever, whatever you want to call them, where you go and they weigh you and they say, buy this food and we'll help you lose weight and take this pill and it'll help you lose weight.
It's all linked back to the government, and they're all making money, so it's popular.
Right. And then
they get these celebrities to promote it, so everybody looks up to celebrities and want to be like that. So they're like, hey, I want to look like Kim Kardashian. I'm going to take those pills because she's promoting it. It's like,
and then at the end of it,
I could just keep going.
You go through all of these classes, you lose the weight, and then they say goodbye and they shut the door. They don't tell you how to maintain it.
Because the weight is coming from uncomfortable emotional feelings.
So and
when you're on a diet and you're getting pre-delivered portions of already made food, you don't have to think about the food. And so that's not an option when you're upset. When you're on a diet and you get upset, you go, I can't eat food to feel better because I'm on a diet.
Yeah, it's mind over matter.
And so I'll have to do something else to feel better because I'm on a diet. Right. But you go off the diet, you get under stress, and you go back to, I'm going to use food to relieve my stress. Mm-hmm. And so until you learn how to handle your own emotions, you're going to keep going back.
It's the same